Good morning with love.
Welcome back, everyone. Earlier we spoke with Superintendent Forbes, well, he says Senior Superintendent, SSP Forbes we call him, about just continuing to make Jamaica this wonderful place to live, keeping the roads safe and living together in a very mature, respectful way. Well, this next interview says we're going to take Jamaica to another place by just working on the things that needs to be worked on to make things happen, to make people better. Because I have one of your favorite companies with us. Well, it's the foundation of that company. I say yours because they're the major player in the telecommunications market, and that's the Digicel Foundation. And joining me right now is Samantha Chantrelle. You are the new executive director.
Yes, I am.
Well, welcome. About what, 2-3 months now?
3 months.
And you replace a big name in the industry, Major General Robert Niche.
Yes, I mean big shoes to fill.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, it shouldn't be difficult though, because you're in that kind of an organization that's always doing wonderful and special things.
Yes, Digicel is yesterday. It needs to be done, and they want it to be bigger. How can we get it to be better? Even when it comes to the foundation.
Are you promoting Digicel, the bigger, better network they say?
I'm promoting the pressure that's on my back to get it done and get it done well.
I can imagine. Well, the thing is, there, speaking with Major Niche, I almost said Robert, and I don't want to disrespect his positions. In November, he discussed some of the things that took place throughout the year and the projects. In talking with you before the program, you began to mention Mile Gully and all of these different things. There's a special place in the foundation to see these things taking place, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, we're going to be focusing, I think, we've been discussing over the last couple of months with me, where we're going to focus our energies and attention. Community development, community empowerment, social entrepreneurship is a big area of focus for the foundation in the past, and we're going to really push that in 2012 and moving forward, because people need work, people need money to send their kids to school, and if with a little bit they can do a lot with that money. They have the ideas on the ground already. So those are the areas that we'll be focusing on, kind of building in the next couple of months, and sending out requests for proposals from community groups to put those type of projects in place.
So you're really looking at supplementing what's out there and allowing these groups to make their dreams become a reality.
Exactly. And I think one thing that we have come to appreciate is that I can't tell you what needs to be done. You sitting in your community, you know where the needs are, you know where the demands are. How can we support that? How can we support your ideas so that those things happen? And you also send a message, like those women in Mile Gully, to other communities and to other groups of women who are not employed. I just need to get myself organized, send in a request, or even just pool our resources together, and we can do so much with that.
Well, some of the viewers may not be aware of those women in Mile Gully. Tell us about that wonderful program.
Well, it was about 8 women who were unemployed up in the hills of St. Mary, and they didn't have money to send their kids to school. They got together and decided that they were going to build a chicken coop. So they started off with a couple of chickens, and an egg rearing project, really. And what they were finding was that they couldn't meet the demand that was in the farmers market that was right there in the town square. So they applied for funding, and we gave them $1.2 million to build a second chicken coop. And now they are, they have money, each of them, to send their kids to school, to continue reinvesting in the business, and they're growing. Now they're talking about, broiler chickens and building out the business.
Oh.
Yeah, very inspiring.
Listening to you give that story, a thought just came to mind, and I'm going to put you on the spot with this. Somebody comes to you with a proposal for $1 million, and with your experience, because you've been very experienced in project management and the different things, having looked at that project and you see, well, to have this sustained over a longer period of time, we need you actually need 1.5 million. Will the foundation discuss that and say to the people, here's that 1.5?
Well, what we try to do when we get into a situation like this, because again, sustainability is not just at that moment, it's going to take place over time. So for Mile Gully, we partnered with Life, which is a community organization group that works with these type of cooperatives, so that we don't just go in, give them the money and come back out. It's our intention that Life will work with them over the course of time to help them build out their model. Because,
Right.
learning any business takes, lessons learned. And these are things that even the Malgoli women are learning themselves. So sustainability and sitting down with life, so life works with them to build out what is this going to cost
Right.
to get you to that point of sustainability. That, yeah, definitely.
Yes, certainly, because though they have a need for the building, there's a lot of food to feed these chicken and everything else that needs to be
Exactly.
looked
And what's the
after.
turnaround time?
Yeah.
And after you finish producing eggs, I didn't know this either, but the chickens, stop producing as much as they could. So you have to rotate those chickens. So all of that is part of the learning process that the cooperative learns about, and that we will be working with them. I mean, we're still invested. So we
Yes.
went up there last week to talk about what's next and how it is that we're going to support them over time. So if they come in with a 1.2, that's usually after working with an organization such as Life to decide that this right now is what their needs are to get them to a certain level of sustainability.
Yeah, the Digicel Foundation seems such a good fit for Jamaica, in the sense that Jamaicans are just so much the most talented people in the world. And when it comes to entrepreneurship and doing business, people have shown. I gave the story just the other day on the program that my jerk chicken man tells me he sent his children to college, bought his house, bought his vehicle by selling jerk chicken.
Yep. And it sounds simple, but then
Yeah.
you think about so many, the untapped talent
Yes.
that's out there. There's a lot of creative things that are being done by young kids out there that we really want to try and tap into. Information technology, ICT, this whole phone and computer thing, this is what Digicel does. It's something that I want to kind of massage into an area or in a way to tap into that kind of creativity to build entrepreneurship in Jamaica. So we're exploring those areas right now.
Yes.
That's where I see us kind of moving, but with the core idea of how can I get you to make some money to support yourself in the
Yes.
long run. And that's where we are going with these community type of programs.
So what's your advice then to someone that says, gosh, I have an idea. I've just been stuck.
Stop.
Yeah.
Go and find out. I mean, this is something that I tell the people who work with me. The internet wasn't around when I was
No.
at school.
You go on the net and you can pull everything down.
It's all there. You put in one word and you have 5 million subject matter on
Yes.
that. You can find a way to learn what it is that you need to do and unstick yourself. Go get some more training, whatever it is. There are lots of online training. That's another thing. There are a lot of resources that this country has as far as how to take you to that next step. Develop a business plan. And it might not be perfect, but take it to somebody. Find a mentor within your community.
And there are business plans online. And you just put in the information, get yourself some ideas, and then get somebody to help you develop it.
Exactly.
And then come and look for Samantha.
Yeah. And then when we do the call out for proposals,
Yes.
look for us. There are other foundations that are working in the area as well.
Yes.
But just keep trying. It would be what I'd say. There are a lot of opportunities out there
Yeah.
for those who never stop trying.
Samantha, in speaking with you, I sense such a passion for society and for people. What's the thing that really drives you?
You know, my parents left Jamaica in the 70s,
Oh.
and we went to the States. And I always asked, when were we coming home? When were we coming home? So when asked when I was a kid, what did you want to do when you grew up? I wanted to be the Prime Minister. I thought maybe politics might
I'm
not.
sure the politicians are hearing.
No. I've decided politics is not necessarily
It's
the
not
only
necessarily,
way
yeah.
to help your country.
Right.
There's a lot of other things that you can do to bring Jamaica to the place that we all want to see. And my stepfather worked for the World Bank. He is a development specialist and has done a lot of things across the globe. And I think he inspired me to get into this type of work. So as soon as I finished college, I was on a plane home to see what I can do to fix Jamaica or to get Jamaica to the place where my children want to stay here when they
And
get
enjoy what we've grown up enjoying. You know, it's something because a lot of times, from my position, especially having lived abroad, 25 out of my umpteen years, teen years, you just know that Jamaica is just one of the most awesome places, you know.
The only place to
Two other
live.
places where I lived were totally flat. And every morning when I'm driving to work now and I can see the hills and the mountains, I'm like, I'm just in love.
Yeah,
Still, every single day.
every single day.
This is an awesome place.
But even more than that, I mean, for a country that's so small, we have had so much impact on the world.
Yes.
And I think it just speaks to how amazing Jamaicans are. And that I cannot imagine living anywhere else. I wouldn't want to. And I'm hoping that my children will want to do the same thing,
Yes.
and to help build this country.
Yes.
So it isn't easy for a lot of people. It's not easy for most of us.
Right.
But I think with a little bit, that this country can make a dramatic shift in the direction it needs to go.
Yes.
It's kind of like we're trudging along, and we just need to just take that shift, unstick ourselves, as you put it.
Uh-huh.
And this is the country to be.
So the Digicel Foundation now, I know you say there are a lot of plans being put in place, a lot of things you're looking forward to for the end of the month. But can I put you on the spot and say, what's next? Or with you now, you're 3 months in, cleaning, I don't want to say cleaning house, but just going around, seeing a bit about the foundation. What's your vision moving forward?
Well,
Along with Digicel, of
right.
course.
So I report to a board, so we're trying to get everybody to kind of focus where it is that we're going to go. But I think we have decided on that we're going to push the envelope again in education, what that looks like, maybe using the technologies
Yes.
that's there.
And we're gifted with IT,
Yeah.
seemingly so.
Very.
Yeah.
And also special needs is an area of focus for us, kids with special needs. I have a son who has a learning challenge, and I've learned a lot about this subject over
Yes.
the last year. And one of the things that I think was most surprising to me is how limited the resources are for parents to get their children intervention. And the earlier the intervention, the better it is for them. How many children are going through the system undiagnosed with a learning challenge? And we say things like, and this was my son, oh, he's just a boy. He just doesn't listen. That isn't it. There is something a little bit more that can be done to help these kids. So to raise the awareness in special needs, Dennis O'Brien, who is the patron and the CEO of Digicel, he has committed to building 3 centers of excellence for special needs children in the next 3 years. We've done
Wow.
one, yeah. We've done one.
Where was that one?
This one is STEP, where we're going to do
Right.
a groundbreaking with STEP, and these are kids with multiple disabilities, both physical and mental. Really challenged, and the organization has been operating with limited resources, and they wanted their own space. They've been operating out of a church hall. So every day they bring out their equipment, and every day they have to bring it back in.
Wow.
Yeah. So now they're going to have their own space, their own building, their own place to work with the children. So that starts, we'll be doing a groundbreaking within the next month for STEP, and we're looking now for our second school, because this will be number 2 for 2012. And we'll look outside of Kingston, and we think for that maybe in the St. James area. And then 2013 for our third. And then also to bring up the awareness of what special needs is and learning challenges are, and to put some interventions in place for kids and parents in this area. And then the community development,
Yes.
which we spoke about. So that's where we're going to be focusing for the next 3 years.
Well, as I did the first time, I had the Digicel Foundation, Foundation on the set, which was Major Niche. I looked at the camera and I said, so now you know why you're spending your money with Digicel. And now you know why you should spend even more. It's not just about making that phone call. Because in so many ways, Digicel is giving back to the community.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
And I'll say I think that's the thing that's impressed me the most about the company, how committed they are to the foundation and the work that we do. Everybody has a piece of it, so
Yes.
it's hard to get consensus, but let me tell you, the company is very focused on developing Jamaica. They've invested themselves in here, and they're invested in the people. So I think if anything I've learned over the last 3 months is that this is important
Yes.
to Digicel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us.
you're welcome.
And all the best.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll be hearing from
Yes.
some people. You'll hear from me.
Definitely.
We're going to find a way to see how we can step out there and help more of our people in Jamaica. This has been a wonderful interview with Samantha from the Digicel Foundation. And of course, I said it just a while ago, Digicel making an impact in our country just because you have made the decision to. Am I doing a commercial for Digicel? I don't know. But you've made that decision to spend your money and to use the services of Digicel. It's not a commercial, it's just saying from what you're spending, they're putting out and our nation's benefiting. So all kudos to Digicel Foundation, and we'll be right back.